Hello everyone and welcome back to OpenClaw AI Agent Automation Stack course brought to you by TechLatest. In the previous lesson, we covered an introduction to OpenClaw and its capabilities, deploying OpenClaw on Microsoft Azure and deploying OpenClaw on Google Cloud Platform. In this lesson, we will deploy OpenClaw on Amazon Web Services (AWS) using the TechLatest OpenClaw virtual machine available through the AWS Marketplace. So by the end of this video, you will have a fully functional OpenClaw instance running on AWS and ready to use.
We also have dedicated deployment videos for Azure and GCP. If you are using one of those cloud providers, you can jump directly to the corresponding lesson.
So let's get started. First of all, why to go with TechLatest OpenClaw VM solution? So if you want to set up OpenClaw on your local system, actually we need a reliable environment where it can run continuously. OpenClaw is designed to interact with system level resources, which can introduce risk when deployed on local machines. Also, setting up OpenClaw manually and ensuring everything works correctly is a time consuming process. So the TechLatest AWS Marketplace solution simplifies this entire process with just a few clicks. You can launch a pre-configured virtual machine that's ready to run OpenClaw, allowing you to focus on exploring its features instead of spending time on manual installations. So now let's begin with deployment. For that, go to www.techlatest.net website. Navigate to products and support page, search for OpenClaw. On this page, you can directly go to AWS Marketplace listing by clicking on Launch Now on AWS button. And here is the Marketplace listing. Or you can go to AWS deployment page from TechLatest website and click on the Marketplace link, which is available at this step 1. Both the links take to the same AWS Marketplace listing page. On this page, you will find product overview, features, deployment options. Then we have extra details on the right hand side. And on scrolling down, we have software pricing. And at the very bottom, we have usage instruction. So once your VM is ready, you can refer to these steps to access the OpenClaw web interface. We also have documentation links available here. Now, before proceeding, it's important to understand how pricing works on AWS Marketplace. So the VM solution incurs two types of charges. One is software cost, which is mentioned here. So this is fixed despite of VM size, which is 0.13. And the other cost is varying AWS infrastructure cost. This infrastructure cost, such as the EC2 instance, EBS storage, networking, and any optional GPU resources, these are billed separately by AWS based on the resources you choose during deployment. Okay, so there are two different costs, and you will get the combined billing of this cost after deployment. Okay, after reviewing the listing, click on View Purchase option available on right top corner. Log into AWS if you are not already logged in. It will take you to subscription page. Here you can check more about product, its publisher, its summary. Now scroll down and click subscribe. As I am already subscribed to this solution, I have this button disabled here. Now once you are subscribed, scroll up and click on launch your software button. On this page, we have two launch methods. First is launch from EC2 console and the other one is one-click deployment. For this demo, we will go with one-click deployment, but I will give you a quick intro to first option of deployment from EC2 console. So if you choose launch from EC2 console option, it will ask you to select version of this software to deploy and the AWS region where you would like to deploy the OpenClaw VM. Now scroll down and click on launch from EC2 option. It will take you to our regular EC2 deployment page. So on this page, you can provide name of the deployment, instance type, your key pair, security group, and disk size. Once ready, simply click on launch instance button here. Okay. So now let's see the one-click deployment option. Select version region, and number of instances. In my case, I'll just keep 1. Select the configuration that matches your workload. For evaluation and testing, a smaller instance may be sufficient. Minimum configuration required is like 4 virtual CPUs and 16 GB RAM. For production deployments or multiple users, choose an instance with additional CPU and memory resources. If your workload requires GPU acceleration, you can also select a GPU-enabled EC2 instance depending on your requirement. The solution supports NVIDIA T4-based instances, so you can go with G4 DN family here. For VPC and subnet, you can go with the default values. Make sure the security group allows the required inbound traffic for SSH, RDP, and HTTPS to access the OpenClaw web interface. Create the new security group here by clicking create security group button. Here we have SSH, RDP, and HTTPS ports provided by the publisher. Provide the description, name and description to this resource group and click create. Now we have all the firewall rules configured. For key pair, you can choose the existing one if you have any key pair with you, or you can simply create the new one. You will use this key later to connect securely to your virtual machine using SSH. So make sure to download the key on your local system. Okay. When everything looks correct, click launch instance. AWS will now provision your OpenClaw virtual machine. We will get this confirmation message here. Click on the EC2 instance. Now this is VM's details page. Here you will find different details including public IP of the VM. Now let's connect to VM's terminal. For that, copy the public IP of the VM from here. Open PuTTY and paste the IP address here. If you don't have PuTTY installed on your system, simply Google it and install it according to your OS configuration. Now we need our key pair here. So for that, just browse your private key. You download it while deploying the VM by going to SSH, then expand the option auth, and then select the credentials. And in right pane, just browse your key where you saved your key on your local system. Okay. Now once you have your key here, hit open. Now enter Ubuntu as user ID. I have passkey set, so I'm entering the passkey here. Now we are connected to OpenClaw VM terminal. Let's set the Ubuntu user password here in the terminal. We will need this Ubuntu user password to connect to graphical user interface of this VM. Okay, so just run sudo password Ubuntu command. Provide password of your choice. Re-enter it. You can connect to VM's desktop environment from any local Windows machine using RDP protocol. Okay, or if you are on Linux machine, you can simply install Remina and you can connect via Remina. So I am on Windows machine. So let's connect via RDP. First of all, get the public IP of the VM. Open RDP and paste the IP address here. Hit enter. Tick this checkbox and now provide Ubuntu as username and its password. So we are connected to remote GUI environment of this virtual machine. And lastly, the most important thing, now let's access OpenClaw web interface. For that, we need public IP of the VM. So copy it from the details page. Now open your browser and navigate to https:// public IP of the VM. And now make sure to use HTTPS here. Okay, if it is HTTP, replace it with, you will not be able to connect to the web interface. So make sure it is HTTPS. Browser will display an SSL certificate warning message. So expand the warning message, accept the certificate warning, and continue to the public IP. The OpenClaw login page will appear here. Okay, the VM will generate a random password to log into OpenClaw web interface. To get that password, go back to SSH terminal and run sudo cat /home/ubuntu/setup/.gateway pass. dot gateway underscore password. This is the password file actually, and here is the password we have. Now copy it and paste it on login page. Press enter. After connect is successful, it will ask you to pair the device. For that, go back to SSH terminal and run this command to get the request ID. So OpenClaw devices list, this will provide the request ID. The same request ID you can see here on the login page as well. So you can copy it from here, or you can copy it from the output of the OpenClaw devices list command. Okay. Now to approve the request, simply run OpenClaw devices approve and copy paste the request ID here and hit enter. You will get successful approved message. Please note that sometimes the request may expire if there is a delay in approving it. If the request gets rejected, simply rerun the OpenClaw devices list command to obtain a new request ID and then run the approve command using that ID. Also, each browser profile generates a unique device ID. So, switching browsers or clearing browser data will require repairing. And lastly, if your VM's IP address is dynamic with changes on VM reboot, then also you need to repair your device. After approving the request, go back to your login page and hit enter. You can now sign into OpenClaw web interface and begin using the platform. We will explore the OpenClaw dashboard in detail in our upcoming videos. So here by default the LLM model set is Quen 2.5. If you would like to use a different Ollama model, visit the Ollama model library and choose the model you would like to install. So suppose I want to install Llama 3.1b, then you need to pull that model on this virtual machine, and then you need to set it to the primary model. So for that, just run Ollama pull model name. So in my case, it's Llama 3.18b. Replace Llama 3.18b with any other model you would like to download. Once the download is complete, you can make it default by running OpenClaw models set Ollama slash Ollama is the LLM provider. So Ollama slash Llama 3.18b. Okay. So now go back to the OpenClaw web interface and refresh the page. You should see Llama 3.18b listed as the active default model. The tech latest VM includes locally hosted Ollama model, so you can start experimenting immediately without worrying about API usage cost. However, OpenClaw also supports several cloud-based AI providers including OpenAI, Anthropic, Grok, Google Gemini, and many others. You can check this official documentation page. Just go to models and you can see the supported models here. Okay. Now let's see how to switch from Ollama to any other provider. So earlier we switched between two models from the same provider. For example, we changed from Quen 2.5 to Llama 3.1. Since both models belong to the Ollama provider, changing the model was enough. But when you want to switch to an entirely different provider such as OpenAI, you will need to update the provider configuration first. Okay, so to do that, run OpenClaw on board, press enter, select yes here, choose the quick start. You will notice that Ollama is currently configured as the default provider. Okay, now from the config handling section here, select update values to modify the existing configuration. Next, choose OpenAI from the list of supported providers, or whatever LLM provider you want to choose, you can choose from the list. When prompted, paste your OpenAI API key here. The default model displayed is GPT 5.5. Okay, let's go with this. Complete the remaining prompts. For this video, we will skip the optional configuration sections such as channels, search browser, skills. When you reach the hook screen, press the space bar to select the required option. Then press enter. We will also leave the remaining optional settings unchanged. After the onboard process finishes, OpenClaw will update its configuration. Now return to OpenClaw web interface and refresh the page. You should now see OpenAI / GPT 5.5 displayed as the active default model. If you ever want to switch to another OpenAI model later, you don't need to run the onboarding process again. Simply run OpenClaw model set command. Finally, if you would like to monitor OpenClaw or troubleshoot any issues, you can view the live application logs by running OpenClaw logs -- follow command. This command streams the logs in real time, making it useful for monitoring activity and diagnosing any problems. So that's it for today's video. Let's quickly recap what we have accomplished in this lesson. We deployed the latest OpenClaw virtual machine from AWS Marketplace. We connected to the virtual machine using SSH and RDP. We paired and authenticated the OpenClaw web interface, and we successfully accessed the OpenClaw dashboard. Okay, we also saw how to switch to different models from the same provider, as well as we covered how to switch to different LLM provider. So in the next lesson, we will move beyond deployment and begin exploring the OpenClaw web interface. We will take a guided tour of the dashboard and explain the purpose of key components such as channels, sessions, agents, tools, and settings. So you will be ready to build and manage your own AI agents with confidence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.